Good morning. Happy Terrific Tuesday. Welcome to Tea Talk with Coach Shell. I pray that everybody Tuesday morning is going very well. Today I want to talk about what when life doesn't go the way you plan. And I've talked about this over and over again about scheduling and planning and setting your goals. And I'm not talking about not doing that. We should always do that and schedule our day, our week, and our month. It helps us keep organized. But when life does not come out, when it doesn't flow on a day-to-day basis, or when life happens, or when things happen and you don't, it doesn't, it's just not, this is not what I planned today. This is not what I had planned for my week. And something disrupt your schedule. So how do you work that out without becoming frustrated or becoming upset about it? So sometimes we plan for the vision of God He has given us, or how we think life should unfold, whether it's a career path, a relationship, or a personal goal. Um, Honestly, sis, life throws us curveballs, and and life throws us curveballs. And by me saying that, it's a thing I used when I first got on Facebook. I remember putting that on my bio or something about what I had, but I was like, I just go, I just go with the curve. I just lean in the curve because I realized that life just it things happen, and you just have to I have to lean to it, I have to lean in with it. So when life throws us curveballs, and though it can feel like you're being knocked out of position, guess what, sis? This is where unexpected growth happens. This is where growth happens when things just get shaken a little bit. Life happens, things happen in life, and you're looking like, this is not what I planned. This is not on my schedule. This is not what I want to happen. So I want to share four key points about how to navigate when life does not go the way you plan. So, key number one is our plans are just a starting point. Life has its own timeline. Life has its own timeline. So we can you could be like, okay, I'm gonna do this today. I'm gonna go grocery shopping, or I'm gonna go to after work. I'm gonna go do this and do that. And your child texts you and say, "Hey, did you forget? We supposed to do this?" And you're like, "Oh my goodness, that's not what I had in my plan. That's not my schedule." Or you be at work and a meeting happen. A meeting comes up, and it's just a meeting out of nowhere. You normally don't meet. But you have a meeting. So life things happen, and it's not, or it has its own way of being on its own timeline. Number two, unexpected detours can lead us to new valuable possibilities. Have you ever thought about, like, going down the street, or going just around Charlotte, traveling around Charlotte, where you go, and it's like detours, it's detour signs, and you can't, this street is blocked and that street is blocked, and you have to go a different route. I remember recently I was going somewhere, and it was a detour, and I was like, oh my goodness, are you serious? So it took me a different route, but it put me right back on where I was going. So life does the same thing. Sometimes we're in the midst of doing something, we plan, we're doing, and what happens? We gotta take a detour. Something happens, take us off, distract us, and we're taking a detour. However, on the detour, sometimes the detour is not always bad. It's not always bad. Sometimes when you take a detour, you see things that you never saw before. Like if you go in just a certain direction while driving in Charlotte, and you go in a certain way all the time, and you decide because of some construction you have to take a detour. So you take a detour, you start seeing the scenery. You start seeing, oh, I never saw this before. Oh, I didn't know they built this right here. I didn't know. And you start seeing things you never saw before when the detour happens. So when detour happens and it disrupts our plan of the day, our plan of the week, depending on what it is, sometimes the detour is a scenic route, gives you something, an idea that you never thought about before, gives you something, a new perspective on something that you never thought about before. So that's of opening your eyes up to different possibilities sometimes when you take a detour. Key number 3, trust that even detours have purpose, and they're shaping you in ways you can't always see right now. So it does, sometimes detours have a purpose. And I know you're like, well, what does that mean? What does that look like? A detour has a purpose. Um, like for instance, for me, I talk about, being a coach all the time, and I work, I have work regular jobs and everything, and but I knew that this was something I wanted to do. I knew this was my purpose, so I was detoured. So I'm gonna say this: COVID had happened. I was working on my job. COVID had happened, as we all know, back in 2020. So we started working from home. And we started working from home. And I had this desire, I've known for quite some time, I wanted to be a coach. So my husband was in Kuwait. And I thought it was a perfect time to just go ahead doing something that I've been wanting to do for, I believe I was supposed to be doing. So I got my certification back in 2020. I got 4 certifications. And so that's what so now I'm a coach. But I didn't know when COVID happened was gonna be working from home. I don't think that was a detour, because that was not expected. A lot of people was starting to work from home when COVID happened. That was a detour. And I thought I take advantage of that detour. And because I really think if I was in the office, coming home every day, exhausted, I would have never taken the time to actually take a class. But I surprised myself after work. I clocked out, maybe took an hour break, and I just started working, doing my work in the course to get my certification as a life coach. And so that's what I did. I had to do it for 3 months. I sacrificed doing it for 3 months. So the COVID, that was not all of that was a detour. My husband wasn't here. I didn't have any distractions. I wasn't. So I was by here with my dog, and it was just focus, focus, focus. So sometimes your detours can get you on track for your purpose. You're like, okay, why am I pivoting? Sometimes detours are pivots. They really, sometimes when you pivot, it's a detour to your actual purpose. Key number 4 is stay open and adaptable. Every shift can be a step towards something better. So stay open to, even though you have you go on every day to a job, but you have a desire to do something more, have your own business or whatever the case may be. Be open to if something comes, or an opportunity comes, be open to see what the opportunity presents. Pray about it. See what that opportunity is about. See what it's about. Don't just shut it down if like, well, I don't know if I could do this because I have a job, and see what it's about. Be flexible. See what it's about. See what the opportunity, because you never know, an opportunity may come and it might be the right opportunity for you. So you never know. So that's my last one, my last key. And I just want you to repeat this affirmation with me. It says, I trust the unfolding of my journey. Even when the path shifts, I know I'm being guided toward growth, resilience, and a greater purpose. So I hope that this has been helpful to you. Please share this video so everybody can experience what today's topic was about. Have a great and fantastic Tuesday, and thank you for joining me on Tea Talk with Shal. Bye-bye.